Hey all, for this next video I figured I would just make a video about removing the engine. I'm going to do that this weekend, over the course of the whole weekend, just because I can't get more than a couple hours at a time, it seems. But yeah, so this weekend I'll be pulling it out. I'd just like to sell it so that I can get some money so I can buy more parts. I've been buying parts like crazy the last couple of days. So yeah, here's what I'm working with. This lift is going to be great. It'll be the first time I actually got to use the lift for doing things. Normally I'm on my back on a piece of cardboard and whatnot, so this is the underside. I did the restoration of it, cleaned it all up probably about 7 or 8 years ago. Applied some POR 15 and just basically cleaned everything up. Yeah, the other day I put these bars in, what do you call them, the subframe connectors. And for anyone who owns a third gen or a Camaro, I've always heard that it's a big improvement, but man, I wish I would have done that years ago. I noticed it just even coming off the sidewalk onto the road. I haven't even finished yet. I still have to put some bolts up there to even secure it a little tighter, but if you've been hemming and hawing about it, I definitely recommend doing it. I also put this sway bar in. I don't think it did much, but those subframe connectors, boy, they were the ticket. So I'm also hoping this weekend to start cleaning the block off. I ordered a new oil pan, Poly 302.3 or -3, just the newest one. It's got the turbo ports, cooler line ports, so I think in the future I want to possibly do a turbo. I want to get it running now, but eventually get more horsepower and just have a little more fun. So get that cleaned and prep for paint and kind of go from there. So a little bit of bad news. I found out about the transmission. So I was told when I got it, it was a TR6060 out of a ZL1 Camaro. So that makes it, I think it's an MG9 or something. Just a heavier duty version, but apparently it's not. So when I was ordering the subframe cross member, you can get brackets that adapt to it, and to confirm if there's bolts on the side, it's just the regular TR6060, and if it's got the bolts underneath it, it's the heavier duty, higher torque rated version. But for what I'm planning, I don't think it's going to matter. It's a stock LS2 right now in the 400 range, and I'll probably have, well, who knows, turbo or something down the line, but this should hold up just fine. So it's definitely not as easy as just ordering a TKO. It just seems like the parts aren't as available, but I'm fighting through it, and there's other guys that have done it. So as always, just doing my research and getting ready and just ordering parts. But I've ordered subframe connector and just what else did I get? I got the engine mounts and the oil pan, so that at least I can start test fitting it. And well, that'll involve hacking up this nice floor pan. It ain't gonna fit without it, but yeah, with that I'll start ripping off the driveline and the exhaust. That's going to the dump tomorrow. Just the exhaust, it's crap. It's all rusted out. It sounds good. I've gotten lots of compliments on it, but it's only because it's straight through. Basically, these mufflers are old and there's nothing in them. So, and then get to this. Get this thing out of here, get it sold, and just take that money and throw it back into it. So I will continue on when I get the car on the ground again and getting ready to pull it out. Later. Took the passenger side header off from underneath just because it was easy and I don't have to deal with it. Of course, the driver's side, gonna have to probably hook it up, take it off, or hook up the engine hoist and then take that off. I'll show you the front here. If I can do this with one hand. It's probably super loud, but like I said, this will be the first time using my hoist, and it's already been pretty convenient. This house came with it when we moved in a few years ago. So for a guy like me, it worked out well. He's got way too much crap, and my garages keep getting smaller and smaller, so this I can do with one hand there. Yeah, it works well. I smashed my head about 14 times doing the because I had it a little bit lower than normal. But so what I did is I got the passenger header out, disconnected the heater core. I'll try that again. My memory card was full. So yeah, back where I was. Just got to take off the driver's side header. Probably have to pull the motor up at least a bit to get it out of the way. Disconnect the power steering. Take the rod out. Yeah, there's not much left to do, so hopefully in the next hour or so I'll have this out, and probably won't show as I'm doing it because it's not that interesting, but yeah. Stay tuned. Well, I finally got it out with a whole bunch of dicking around and cursing and swearing, so it's probably a good thing I didn't have it on video, but yeah, so here we are. It's amazing how much this thing leaked over the course of the last 10 years or so since I put it back together. I barely even drove the thing, but leaks occurred everywhere. But this thing, I don't know if I'd ever recommend it. It's kind of a piece. It took me longer to try to rig this up in a way that I can get it and twist it and whatnot, so I don't think I don't know if I'll use that again. It was a nightmare, but it's out. The lift actually makes a bit of an issue because now I lose a foot. I lose a foot with the clearance just of the lift itself, and then I have to get the jack underneath it. But after some cursing and swearing, some blood, it's out. So I'm gonna clean this up. Just get rid of it. Hopefully someone will buy it quick so it's out of my rinky-dink garage. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Just pulled off as many parts as I could before, which is probably a good idea just for weight and just access and clearance and whatnot. But yeah, there she be. So my next step, I'll clean this all up again. Get rid of the power steering lines, the Z-bar, just clean up all the grease and stuff too. Like I said, it leaked pretty good over the years, just seals, but that's a good thing about the LS. They definitely don't have the same issues, but yeah, once I get this thing off, I'll maybe finish up the video and throw it on YouTube. Later.